What if Maki and Mai had swapped places? Let's talk about it, but spoilers beware. All right, first of all, big shout out to Ashton who asked me about this today, and he actually asked me a few questions revolving around Mai Zinin, starting with what if she had reached her full potential? So, this is before any weird swapping scenarios or anything like that. Just what if the Mai that we had seen had actually really been motivated to pursue sorcery? And honestly, I don't think it would have changed much. Yes, she was very apathetic and was happy to just kind of sit in the shadows in the background, but even if she had been extremely motivated like Maki was, she didn't really have much room to grow due to her unique situation with Maki kind of handicapping both of them, right? We know that Maki didn't have her fully awakened heavenly restriction, so she was really weak compared to what she would have been, but Mai too kind of suffered those same consequences. She had a very tiny pool of cursed energy and wasn't really able to make the most of her construction technique. Again, even if she had been motivated and passionate about it, she just really couldn't have grown very much. So her full potential was probably a little bit better than what we saw, but not much. But now let's take a look at what might have been if Maki had been the one to pass away and Mai got some sort of boost equivalent to Maki's fully realized heavenly restriction. Now, we don't know for sure that it would work that way, but at least it stands to reason to me that it would. And those of you that have been watching the channel for a while will know that I think that's what happened with Sukuna, because we know that he too had a twin brother just like this scenario that died in the womb. So I think part of the reason Sukuna was so powerful, had so much cursed energy, was because he got boosted by that the same way that Maki did. So if Maki had been the one to die, then I think Mai would have gotten a big boost to her cursed energy, perhaps a lot like Sukuna, right? Which means she could fully utilize the creation curse technique. As far as what that might look like, well, we actually have the perfect blueprint in Yorozu, because Yorozu too had the creation curse technique, and we saw what she was able to achieve with it. She was essentially a special grade level sorcerer. Now, she never officially got that designation, but I personally would place her at least on that echelon in terms of her power, if not literally being able to take over a country, right? And Yorozu was one of the strongest sorcerers back during the Heian era, the golden age of sorcery, right? She was strong enough to get on Kenjaku's radar in order to become a participant in the Culling Games. So she's obviously the cream of the crop, the best of the best, right? So that is what Mai could be. Now, would Mai actually reach Yorozu level? It's hard to say, because even if we want to say that she got a boost equivalent to Sukuna, then yes, she would have the toolkit to reach a Yorozu level, but does she have the right mindset to reach that level? Because, ideology and mindset is huge in Jujutsu sorcery, and depending on, who exactly you want to subscribe to will depend on how you move in that way. But at least by the school of Sukuna, it's, ditch everything in pursuit of your own strength. And is Mai really the type of person to kind of have that viewpoint? Not really. We saw how apathetic she was towards sorcery in the world of jujutsu in general. So if she still retains that framework on it, I don't think she'll ever reach a Yorozu level, because she's not going to be passionate about it, if that makes sense. But an interesting thing to consider is that maybe Maki dying would galvanize Mai to pursue these things. Like maybe she would be on a bloodlusted quest for revenge, just like Maki was, and so she would be motivated to pursue her own strength. And again, in that case, I think we can point to Yorozu. And then finally, Ashton asked me about what this version of Mai would have done in the fight against Sukuna. Could she have equipped everyone with the Soul Split Katana? And this is an interesting question, because I do wonder how the strategy would have changed had they not had Maki, who was kind of a pivotal role in their battle against Sukuna, right? Especially equipped with the Soul Split Katana. So Mai, I think there would have to be a drastically different approach, right? I don't really know if she would be able to help all that much. Sure, she could be just one of the people that came in to fight, like alongside Kusakabe, Higuruma, etc. But I don't think she would be as big of a help as Maki was. And no, she wouldn't be able to equip everyone with Soul Split Katanas, because even though the weak version of Mai was able to craft one, she did so at the cost of her life, right? And we saw that, speaking of Yorozu, she did the exact same thing. So even though Yorozu was a far more powerful version of a creation curse technique wielder, she too was limited by not being able to create such powerful items unless she traded her life for them, which is why she was able to give Sukuna Kamutoke as she was dying. She basically did the exact same thing Mai did. She traded her life for that gift for Sukuna. So if you want to think of it as some binding vow or just some like internal like scale on what you can do with the creation curse technique, it seems as regardless of how much cursed energy you have or how much talent you have, you can't just spam create special grade curse tools. Like you have to trade your life for something that good. Now, could she have made like not quite the soul split katana, but maybe like some cool armor or, you know, Yuji's gauntlets and stuff for everybody? Sure, but they wouldn't have been things that like really would have moved the needle on the fight because again, she would have had to have traded her life to craft something of that quality.